Indonesia is doing something few nations in modern history have attempted. It is moving its capital, not to a nearby city, but deep into the island of Borneo, in the heart of the jungle. This is not just a relocation. It is the creation of an entirely new city from scratch, designed to house millions of people, government institutions, and businesses. The ambition behind the project is staggering. Planners aim to build a sustainable, technologically advanced city, while tackling the severe environmental, logistical, and political challenges that come with building in dense rainforest. Indonesia faces pressing issues in its current capital, Jakarta, from sinking land and overpopulation to chronic traffic congestion, and this bold move is meant to address them. Yet the scale of the undertaking, tens of thousands of hectares of jungle being converted into a functioning metropolis, makes it one of the most audacious urban projects in the world today. The new capital is called Nusantara, located in East Kalimantan on Borneo, hundreds of kilometers away from Jakarta. The site was chosen for its relative safety from rising sea levels, earthquakes, and other natural disasters that plague Java, while also aiming to stimulate economic growth in Indonesia's underdeveloped eastern regions. Despite its size and significance, Nusantara remains relatively unknown internationally and even among Indonesians, largely because construction is still in its early phases and attention remains focused on Jakarta's immediate crises. Globally, Nusantara is significant because it represents one of the few modern examples of a government relocating a national capital in response to climate threats, urban overcrowding, and strategic planning, an unprecedented attempt to redesign governance and urban life in the 21st century. Jakarta, Indonesia's current capital, is facing an urban crisis that has reached critical levels. The city is home to more than 10 million residents, with over 30 million living in the greater metropolitan area, making it one of the most densely populated cities in the world. Chronic flooding, caused by heavy monsoon rains, sinking land, and poor drainage systems, regularly disrupts daily life, damages infrastructure, and causes economic losses. In fact, Jakarta is sinking at an alarming rate of 7 to 10 centimeters per year in some areas, largely due to excessive groundwater extraction, which has created a significant long-term risk for buildings, roads, and vital infrastructure. Beyond environmental challenges, Jakarta suffers from severe traffic congestion, air pollution, and overstretched public services, making the city increasingly unlivable. Its location on the north coast of Java, on swampy and deltaic terrain, makes it exceptionally vulnerable to rising sea levels, with projections suggesting large portions could be underwater by the end of the century if no drastic measures are taken. These pressures have created a compelling need for the government to consider relocating administrative functions and population centers to a safer, more sustainable location. Moving the capital to East Kalimantan, in the relatively elevated and geologically stable terrain of Borneo, is seen as a solution to reduce vulnerability, decentralize economic growth, and create a city designed for the modern era rather than adapting Jakarta's century-old infrastructure. The vision for Nusantara is nothing short of monumental, representing a new chapter in urban planning and national development. The city is being built on a vast area of tens of thousands of hectares in the relatively undeveloped forested regions of East Kalimantan, giving planners the freedom to design a city from scratch without the constraints of an existing urban footprint. The initial phase aims to accommodate 1 to 2 million residents, primarily government employees, civil servants, and their families, with plans to expand further as commercial, industrial, and residential sectors develop. Over time, Nusantara could house 4 to 5 million people, creating a fully functioning capital capable of supporting the political, administrative, and economic needs of a rapidly growing country. The city is being designed with modern urban planning principles, emphasizing sustainability, resilience, and connectivity. Government offices, residential zones, and commercial districts are strategically separated but linked through efficient transportation systems, including highways, public transit, and pedestrian-friendly corridors. Green spaces, water management systems, and renewable energy infrastructure are being integrated to minimize environmental impact, reflecting Indonesia's stated goal of creating a carbon-neutral and flood-resistant capital. The planners also envision smart city technologies embedded throughout, from energy-efficient buildings to digitally managed traffic and utility systems, enabling a level of operational efficiency rarely seen in newly constructed cities of this scale. Economically, Nusantara is more than just a political hub. It is intended to stimulate growth in eastern Indonesia, an area that has historically lagged behind Java in terms of investment, infrastructure, and population density. By creating new economic zones, industrial parks, and residential communities, the government hopes to redistribute wealth, create employment opportunities, and reduce overpopulation pressures in Jakarta and other Java cities. The sheer scale and ambition of Nusantara make it a global experiment in urban relocation, a chance to build a functional, sustainable megacity in a challenging natural environment while addressing one of the world's most pressing urban crises. Building Nusantara in the dense jungles of East Kalimantan presents some of the most complex environmental and engineering challenges faced by any modern city project. The site is located in a region rich in biodiversity, home to endangered species such as orangutans, proboscis monkeys, and rare tropical flora. Clearing land for construction risks habitat destruction, ecosystem disruption, and the loss of invaluable natural resources. Environmentalists have expressed concern that large-scale deforestation could also release significant amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, undermining Indonesia's climate commitments and contributing to global warming. Balancing development with preservation is therefore one of the most pressing dilemmas for planners. From an engineering perspective, the terrain poses serious obstacles. The region is characterized by uneven land, tropical rainforests, and peat-rich soils, which are prone to subsidence and waterlogging. Designing stable foundations for high-rise government buildings, residential complexes, and commercial zones requires advanced geotechnical studies, soil reinforcement, and innovative construction techniques. Additionally, the tropical climate brings heavy seasonal rainfall, which complicates drainage, road construction, and flood prevention. Engineers must integrate comprehensive water management systems, including retention basins, canals, and pumping stations, to prevent waterlogging and protect the city's infrastructure. Logistics and infrastructure installation add another layer of complexity. Constructing roads, bridges, utilities, and digital networks in a previously undeveloped jungle requires transporting materials over difficult terrain, often in areas without existing access routes. Power and water supply must be established from scratch, with renewable energy sources like solar and hydropower incorporated to meet sustainability goals. Communication networks, including fiber optic internet and emergency systems, must be designed to cover both densely built zones and natural buffers. Nusantara is not just a new city, it is a massive engineering experiment. Planners must reconcile urban development with environmental stewardship, overcome natural hazards, and implement cutting-edge infrastructure in a location that has seen minimal human intervention. Success will require careful planning, coordination between government agencies, and a long-term commitment to monitoring and maintaining both the city and its surrounding ecosystems. The stakes are high. Failure could result in ecological damage, infrastructure problems, or even long-term economic and social setbacks, making this project a true test of Indonesia's technical, environmental, and administrative capabilities. The relocation of Indonesia's capital to Nusantara carries profound economic and strategic significance for the nation. Economically, the project is expected to generate thousands of jobs during both construction and operational phases, ranging from engineering and logistics to public administration and service industries. By investing heavily in infrastructure, transportation networks, and industrial zones in East Kalimantan, the government aims to stimulate economic growth in a region that has historically lagged behind Java, redistributing wealth and development more evenly across the archipelago. The new capital also opens opportunities for foreign and domestic investment, particularly in sustainable construction, green energy, and technology-driven urban services. Strategically, moving the capital inland addresses several long-term vulnerabilities. Jakarta is located on the coast, making it increasingly vulnerable to rising sea levels, land subsidence, and flooding, while concentrated economic activity in Java has heightened regional disparities and overpopulation pressures. Nusantara, situated on higher, more stable terrain, provides a safer, climate-resilient location for Indonesia's government institutions, allowing the country to continue functioning effectively even in the face of environmental crises. This move also reduces congestion in Java, redistributes population density, and creates a more balanced geopolitical footprint within the nation. The relocation of Indonesia's capital to Nusantara represents one of the boldest urban experiments of the 21st century. It is more than a city. It is a national strategy to solve Jakarta's chronic problems, redistribute economic growth, and safeguard governance against climate and environmental threats. If successful, Nusantara could become a model for sustainable, climate-resilient urban planning, setting a precedent for countries facing similar challenges from overcrowding, rising seas, and aging infrastructure. Yet the project carries immense risks. Environmental degradation, displacement of indigenous communities, soaring costs, and the logistical complexity of building a modern metropolis in dense jungle all threaten to undermine the vision. There is also the question of whether the economic and social benefits will reach all Indonesians or remain concentrated among elites and government sectors. Nusantara forces a critical question: can a nation truly design a city from scratch that balances sustainability, growth, and social equity? Or will the challenges of scale and environment overwhelm even the most ambitious plans? Ultimately, Nusantara is more than a relocation. It is a test of Indonesia's ability to redefine urban life, national planning, and the very notion of what a capital city can be in the modern world.